Guess what, y'all? Look who's back. I had to bring this piece back from the shop because it never sold. Yep, never sold. I did this, I don't know, about 6 months ago, maybe longer. Had it over there, had it displayed different ways, in different parts within my booth. I opened it, I had it closed, I had it every which way, and it didn't sell. I loved it. I thought that it had a very neutral palette and it was a fun piece. When people opened it, they could see the transfer. It was happy and a little bold, but clearly it's too plain. It's not catching people's attention. So I think this is a perfect piece to go bold and maximalist with. I'm going to go ahead and redesign it. From time to time, this happens, and this is a piece that I'm going to redesign this weekend. I don't know exactly which way I'm going to go with it, at least just yet, but I know I'm going to go get some paint, maybe something to complement some of the colors that the transfer has, and then go from there. Welcome to White Not Redesign on Saturdays, and this one goes for the Maximalist Video Challenge on YouTube. Let's do it.
One look and I breathe.
So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give this a good cleanup. I picked up a couple of blues. I think I'm gonna take the blue hues that I see in the transfer. A couple of light ones and maybe a dark one. I'm gonna go with some white style paint, and yep, that's gonna be the plan for now. When I clean this up, give it a scuff sand again because I did 3 coats of top coat on this. The good thing is that it's water based and it was chalk paint, so I'm going to go ahead and or that doesn't need a whole bunch of prep. There's nothing to be fixed, none of that, but I'm gonna go ahead and just put a coat on and then do some blending. Hopefully that will make it fun. Let's see what else I can do after that. I have very little paint left on this can, and I use this color. The color is Reef by Good Bones. Good Bones is a all-in-one paint, also is chalk paint, and I have just a little bit from a project that I did many years ago, and I decided to go ahead and do the base coat on this color, and then I'm going to do some blending with Prussian blue, Prussian blue, um, with Vintage Duck Egg and Limestone by White Owl in their chalk line. One of my favorite paints. I have a lot of favorite paints, right? Did y'all see my paint vlog? I have a lot of paints, and I need to go through all of these paints because some of them are getting pretty old. And I definitely need to finish the cans before they dry out on me. All right. So Let's do the top of this one now. I like, as I do with all of chalk paints, basically, I like to spray it a little bit on the top with some water so that it glides better and it leaves minimal brush strokes. Beautiful color. So bright. Definitely changed the look of this already.
That my way of blending is completely different that you guys are probably used to seeing, and that you see other people who I call the queens of blending do it. I like to use one brush. I usually go for a round big brush, and when I am working with colors that are alike or in the same family, like for example in this case I am using all blues, although they're in different hues and different lightness or darkness, they're still three blues, and I know that regardless of what I do, they are going to blend one onto the other and give me the highs and lows that I'm looking for. If you are working with three colors that are not alike or not in the same family, for example, a white, a black, and let's say a pink, then I recommend that you use three different brushes to apply those colors with, and then one or two additional brushes that will be your blending brushes. In this case, like I said, I am using all three blues, so it's really easy to just put one color in one way, let's say in the corner, one in another corner of a different lightness, like I'm doing in this case right now, and then that different, more grayish, in this case dark egg blue, in the middle, and then just try to do a perfect blend between the three. If the blend is not as perfect, or sometimes you can see a really harsh line between them, then use a second brush, a dry brush, to then soften up those lines and make sure that the blend looks more cohesive. Again, I want to say that this is just what works for me. I like to use different techniques with blending, and this one I call clouds because at the end of the day, this is exactly how it looks to me like. And I really enjoy doing this one because it's something that I haven't seen a whole lot of people do, but it's also probably the easiest way. There are other ways of blending, and everybody is going to tell you differently, but you need to find the way that works for you and stick to it and perfect it and make it work for you. It's great to copy somebody else, but at the end of the day, it has to be something that you love doing and that makes your work stand out and that makes you love that piece just like the next one and like the one that's coming after this. Love what you do. Perfect what you do. Do it however you need to do it. Just make sure that you love what you're doing. I still have a couple of pieces from the transfer that I was using before inside, and so I'm gonna finish those two, really just two pieces that I have left over, and then I'm gonna bring a separate transfer, and it kind of goes together. I'm gonna make it go. I'm gonna cut it so that it all feels cohesive and it looks cohesive. I'm also going to be using some stamps, and I like doing the stamps um, one on top of the other. Basically, they are the same. I'm just gonna use two different colors, a darker and then a lighter color. These are still all the same colors, the Prussian blue and then the Reef that I'm using, so everything's still in the same hues. And I'm gonna be using some flower stamps as well. Everything is gonna just look kind of the same. I'm also gonna use a stamp that is, it looks like crackle, and I love using, and all of this to just kind of be extra but make everything just bold and maximalist.
Oh my gosh, I thought I was recording and I didn't. Although you didn't miss much, just I used part of that, all of that, and a lot more transfers. So you didn't miss much, but I did think I was recording, y'all. I am waxing this piece and I'm gonna use a couple of other waxes on top, like some dark waxes and stuff. So I am using two different types of wax over the transfers. I'm going to use a regular oil-based wax so that this is sealed. On the rest of the piece where I have paint and I can still add different other details, I'm going to use a water-based wax. Dixie Belle has one that I really like. You can add on top and then reseal that with other ones. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Definitely more cohesive now.
I want to thank Made by Marley and La Vintage Decor for putting this furniture flip challenge, the Maximalist challenge, together. It has been so much fun. I was able to let go again and use all of my creative juices, use a whole bunch of things that I normally don't, and this was fun. This is exactly what this piece needed, and I really appreciate these ladies for thinking about this. I also want to invite all of you to go to the link and watch all of the videos, because I know there is going to be some amazing videos this weekend. And let me show you where we ended up with this piece.